Hello guys, it's Bobby from MBgamerz and back playing FANTASY A Realm Reborn. Again, Lulu will be with us on this journey, but she will be coming back eventually. She's just finishing off on her exams and her schoolwork, and yeah, and I just miss playing this game in general. So with that, let's start by talking to Heyya. A hero in the making. Heyya is wearing a weary smile. Might it have something to do with your newfound fame? Until not so very long ago, you were but one of the many adventurers seeking to make their way in the Eorzea. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you travelled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming Ida and Primo that the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in doing so. Alas, fame does not come without price, as you soon will discover. We have guests, Violet, or rather, you have guests. Oh, have I? Beg pardons. Oh. Ah, Lady Heyya, radiant as always. Flirt. I am given to understand that Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero into the mists. I am on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Liminza, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. As you can see, Violet, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have a Fritz ban for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist any recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of Violet's deeds spread so quickly. That the Immortal Flames would know of her triumph is so unexpected. Is to be expected. No, can't say my words. But what of the Grand Companies? Tartaroo. Your reputation precedes you, Mistress Halfmoon. It is not no ordinary woman who can face a primal and emerge the victor. And imagine our pride when we learned that you began your journey as an adventurer in our own Gridania. Know that the people hold you in high esteem, and that you will always be welcome among us. The Order of the Twin Hatter has need of valiant women such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the Twelves Wood. What a pleasure it is finally to meet you, Mistress Halfmoon. My comrades speak of you in most glowy terms. A woman of talent belongs to the Immortal Flames. Join the strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure the prosperous future of Ul'dah. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. It is only natural that we should want you as for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let's see the grand vessel of Liminza to the shores of glory. Awkward. Lady Heyya? Very well. No, I'm quite sure you need no reminding. Mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help clarify your thoughts on this matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all compressing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of the respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Erosa: the Maelstrom of Limsaninsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Lokazania, and the Immortal Flames of Ulda. Serving the Grand Company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnishing with various rewards, some of which may well prove useful to you in your other endeavors. If you're agonizing over which Grand Company best deserves your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance to a later date, you are entitled to do so, and yet I concede that it is no small choice you face. If what occurs to me, will you? You will, of course, recall the 3 city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I'm given to understand the leader of the Greek Grand Company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You are wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Still, a flirt. Very well, let Violet hear our leader speak, and then return here with her decision. We eagerly await your answer. I know full well that the adventurers are by the nature liberty-loving breed, and not best suited to the discipline of military services. But I strongly urge you to join a Grand Company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed with great power, Violet, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet, knowing the great power is wont to attract attention, not at all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs to be on the lookout for them. Yet, however vigilant you are but one woman in the midst of the Grand Company. However, you will be the one woman amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can't think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that you can continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in days ahead. The Grand Company seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Erosa as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Your day is changing, Violet, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say that what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now it's time for you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tartaru. She will apprise you of where and when the remembrance services are due to take place. Okay. So let's go speak to Tartaru. I think I've already have a clear mind of what Grand Company I'm going to join. I'm leaning towards the Twin Adder because I've joined them before, and obviously being a Lancer, starting area is Lokazania, so I have to taste. I'm gonna choose that one. Let me know in the comment section which one you choose. Something's happening. I'm sorry all about the attention you're getting, Violet. I might have slung your praises a little too loudly and often to a few too many people. Next time, I'll be sure to hold my tongue, literally, if necessary. Anyway, I expect you want to know where and when the remembrance services are taking place. If it all goes to plan, Glennis Complement and the Twin Adder will be held first of the three services. Elder Cecil Canas the Isana will deliver address in Milikinetus. Oh, I can't say that. I should have probably mentioned at this point that due to the organisational challenges involved in assembling all involved parties, it's possible that the order of the services might change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so Gridania, your first port of call. Next, you'll go to Ulda, where the Flame General Raban, Uldian, will be addressing the masses of the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumoured there's to be a special guest. How exciting! Last but not least, you must make your way to stateroom in Linsa Minsa, where Melsham Chief Admiral Merly Coop will be giving your address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself as Sensory Sanfinial, and he will admit you. Got that? All that? Well, off we go then. I hope that you find the remembrance services suitable, educational. I suggest visiting the city-states in the prescribed order, though. With your record of impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may well change in favour of your preferred travel plans. Very well. So let's go to Orda. No, Gridania, I mean. Okay. Takes ages to load in screens. Okay. There we go. Oh, I got 4 messages. Check that out later. Alright. Something's going on.
I lost my son to the calamity.
The 3 seed seers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body. Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the green wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seedseer. The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. "5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk the highways without fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder's standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity. We must think of the children!
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the forest.
For the elementals! If you'll permit me, Alfie no. And my sister, Alize, at your service. I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
The Gridanians are unfortunate enough to have to contend with two beast tribes. The Ixu are unquestionably the most troublesome, being the naturally warlike disposition, and wont to summon their bloodthirsty primal Garuda. The Siths, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians, until recently, at least. Alas, they have grown aloof. A change observes as roughly the time they summoned the primal Ramu. The Gridanians have no love for war, and they consider open conflict at last resort. Though they clash with the Ixu ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Siths, they are yet bound by a peace treaty, though not one wonders how long it will be before it is broken. The 12 was as grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the wood, and thereby the power of the elementals, will put an end to their woes. Yet how long will that take? Centuries, I wager. Meanwhile, the Ixu will continue their incursions, spurred by the Garuda and their insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later it will come to all-out war. And when it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How vulnerable might the aid of capable adventurer prove to them, then? Well, perhaps we'll find out. If the Elsie Searsworth falls on fertile ground. There goes the twins. Alright. Let's go to Order. I wonder if I've got the Aphra attuned for where we have to go. Okay. Let's go this way. Waiting. There we go.
Behold, 'tis the Santana Nanimo herself!
And Roban as well!
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore.
Hurrah! Rauban!
Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ur dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold. where by the grace and glory of Naldal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah!
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honor. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but... Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden, and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you. Line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people. Ya for Ul'dah!
Together we are one.
Your Grace.
Raubon? People of Ul'dah, I, Nanimo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah. Yet those who measured that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ul'dah, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the Inferno, for we are, by fire, reborn!
Okay.
Forsooth!
The time is now!
Fancy meeting you again.
The Ordans have a long history of conflict with the Amaja, the beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Judging by your look of distaste, I take it you have encountered them. The Ordans do not shy from the confrontation of not threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So have they dealt with the Ifrit thus far, smoothing his flames each time he is stoked to life. Yet he is but one of the several problems. Though they have been quiet these past 5 years, the Guardians have not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves, and Order has no clear policy to how to deal with them. After all, not even the Sultanate's coffers are bottomless. And even assuming they had the coin, resources will ever be infinite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Amaja are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, the Ordans send their forces to emit the primal. And though they invariably succeed, each victory is bought with blood. It is a war of intuition which they cannot well disdain. Small wonder then that the immortal flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventure of your experience would be most welcome addition to the ranks. Now we've got to go to the Minsa. Come on, loading screen. Nerd. Alright. Sprint there. Go to the stateroom.
The Galleons are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride. "700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Gallian Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom standard, and our grand company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners. And together, we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa no Minsa. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage. Yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback bastards.
While the mines of MBgamerz spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now the curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves, till sea swallows all!
Long live the Admiral!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll follow ye to the 7 hells, Admiral!
Fancy meeting you again.
As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Limsa no Minsa is played by 2 beast tribes. The first are the fish-like Slargian, worships of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth, and take the primal Titan for their god. As if the beast tribe's presence weren't troublesome enough, the Guardians have also chosen to erect their fortress right in the Limousin's backyard. And that is so why not of internal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to the blood feuds between the various factions. And while they fight amongst themselves, the Guardians wield their blades and watch. If the Limousians are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. And to this end, I expect that they will soon take decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Mushroom Standard will be drenched in a deeper shade of crimson ere long. That a capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to the crew is beyond question. Alright. Oh. Violet, this is Minfilia. Are you well? I hope. Would I be correct in thinking that the final remembrance service is now concluded? A minute ago you say? What a coincidence. Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies. Well, delighted though they are to have them here as the Wigan Stand, it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back. Which means she wants them out. Let's go to Horizon in the Western Funland. Oh, I love this game. I think on my other account I've got up to level 58 now, so not far from the Stormblood expansion. Let me know in the comment section what level you are on this game, guys. Yeah, let's go. Can't wait to get the Shaker Belt on this one. Okay, we're nearly there. Oh, come on. Before we get back, by the time we get to the Horizon, I would like to ask you guys if you've got any questions that you would like to ask me, as in the next episode of Final Fantasy, I will be doing like a Q&A. So, if you've got any questions, please put them in the comment section of this video, and in the next video I will be answering them in great detail. And if I don't answer all of your questions, I'll be making it into a two-part episode. Well, two-part videos. So, get your questions ready for me, guys. Go to the solar. Let's talk to Minfilia. But you must be tired from your journey. Why don't you rest a while and take a moment to reflect on your decision? Once your mind is made up, pray to give me the Grand Company's officers your answer.
The gods only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep. The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the Calamity and 7th Umbral era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity? No, dear Alizé, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primers do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the Calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience. There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
My lady!
We are to escort you!
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all. The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
Okay, let's choose... I'm choosing the Twin Adder, so let's go and talk with him. And he does a salute to me. Ah, I take it the elder sister's words have touched your heart. Have you resolved and entwined your destiny with ours of that Twin Adder? Yes. You have chosen wisely, my friend. The elder sweetheart will be overjoyed. Without further ado, let us speak with the practical matters. In order to complete the enrollment procedure, you must report to the Adder's Nest. I dare say you know as well from your wandering in the New Gridania, give your name to the personnel officer there, and he will guide you through the formalities. I have no doubt that your deeds will bring great honor to the order. When we next meet in Gridania, I shall be proud to call you my sister. You my sister. Alright, let's go to New Gridania and talk to the personnel officer. Screen. Alright. It's this way. You have come to the Adder's Nest, headquarters of the Twin Adder. Ever do we welcome they who would hold the elemental's name for the good of our forest nation. My opinion. There we go. Ah, the great adventurer herself. Yes, our recruitment officer sent word that you were on our way. It is a pleasure and an honor to both to be welcome you to our ranks, friend. Now, let me gather together the relevant documentation. Sir! What is it? Report. An urgent message from Anthony Spire, sir. A high-wind Skyways airship has taken fire from Imperial forces in the skies in the northeast shroud. The vessel engines have crippled, sir, and it is forced to make an emergency landing southeast of 9 elves. 9 elves? Gods, that could not have come to the worst time. All that but a handful of our forces are presently afield, dealing with the Ixal. Father, I know full well you have yet to be formally inducted into our ranks, but we have urgent need of your aid. In likelihood that the airship was bearing civilians, and if the reports are accurate, it will have come down dangerously close to Guardian occupied territory. Please make all haste to the area southeast of 9 Isles, located the airship and uncertain status of the passengers. Okay, I'm going to end the episode here, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and please remember to put all your questions in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to answer all of them if possible. And with that, bye guys!